Hello and welcome to day 6 of my 31 Days of Horror. I'm Joey Hollywood, and the movie I watched today was Curse of Frankenstein. Now, part of the highlights of doing 31 Days of Horror is the Hammer movies. That's the part I look the most forward to, the Hammer movies and anything from the 80s. And it has been a while since I've seen any of the Hammer Frankenstein movies. So I was eager to go back and look at them again because I'm more familiar with the Universal ones. And I had a newfound appreciation for Curse of Frankenstein. I've always liked it, but man, I really enjoyed it this time around. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that was fun. But this time I really enjoyed it. This movie stars Christopher Lee as the monster and Peter Cushing as Victor Frankenstein. And if you know anything about me, I love Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. When those two are in a movie, you can pretty much guarantee that I will watch it or have seen it. One of the things I really liked about Curse of Frankenstein is that Frankenstein wasn't a misunderstood or sympathetic character. He was downright evil. Because most of the Frankenstein adaptations that I've seen, he's just a guy who got really caught up in his work and didn't think of the consequences. And there's some of that in this movie as well, but he's downright killing people for the parts he needs. And I think that just makes him all the more scarier. It makes him more detestable. And I really like that dynamic. Unfortunately, the monster doesn't talk in this, and I wish he did because Christopher Lee has an amazing voice. And boy, does the monster look scary in this movie. He doesn't look like the classic Frankenstein, and I believe that had something to do with a copyright thing, like they couldn't own the name Frankenstein, but they could copyright the look of the Universal Frankenstein. I believe that's the case, or at least that's what I've been told. And good. I actually really like the direction they went with this new Frankenstein, especially about midway through the film, when one of his eyes are blacked out. I think he looks so cool in that scene. Now, if you like any of the Universal Frankenstein movies and you haven't seen any of the Hammer Frankenstein movies, I'd really recommend this one and Revenge of Frankenstein. I would say they're about up there with the original two Frankenstein films from Universal. I don't think I'm going to go too much into the plot on this one because it's just the standard Frankenstein story. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Joey Hollywood, and I'll see you tomorrow in day 7 of my 31 Days of Horror.